Let's talk about mold in cars. Can absolutely make people sick. I've had people tell me they had to drive, put the window down. Look at me, I'm like a crank, like the old cars. They got to put their window down, stick their head out when they're driving, or have all the windows open to keep the air going through quickly because they're so affected and triggered. Now that's, usually a histamine issue, or they have, they're super sensitive, but still the mold in the car is a problem. So how does mold get in cars and what do we do about it? So number one, you could have just had, maybe you left the sunroof open, or maybe the gasket around it's going and it's leaking. We just bought a used Highlander Toyota, and the guy it's a sport edition. And the guy I bought it from, he owns the car dealership. And he's like, I wanted the sport one because it has a small skylight, not the big panoramic. He says, because those are notorious for leaking. And he told me that. And I was like, oh my goodness, I never thought of that. I never thought of a fairly new vehicle having a leaking problem like that. So I'm glad that he told me that. And he got the one with the smaller sunroof. But you can have overt water penetration, right after we got that, one of the kids left the back window down this far. I got in the next morning, start it, and I'm like, it doesn't smell right in here. And I started panicking because it had like that wet smell. And I looked and saw on the leather seat where water had just dried, but the rest of the water was mostly on the mat, thank goodness. But you can have an overt water leak like that to get mold started, especially when it goes in the carpet and then it just grows, right? We had a neighbor actually that said it was like a whole ecosystem in his car. He had gotten water in there and it just blew into this microbial another planet, and he ended up having the car trashed, towed away, come get it. Or you have mold in your house and you're throwing in your stuff from your house every day, backpacks, work stuff, whatever. It's going in the car, coming on your clothes, coming in your hair. You're bringing mold spores, mycotoxins into your car every single day, and they attach, just like they do to furniture in the house, they attach to your seats, and then can go into, instead of HVAC in the house, they can go into your air ducts in your car, into your air conditioning system, right? So what do? I'm looking at my list here so I don't forget anything. Number one, if you want to test, and I never mention this when I'm talking to people, I always forget, but I had the swab sitting on my desk from another video, immunolytics.com, and you can get a swab. You can swab inside your vents too, right? Because it is some manufacturers, I think Mercedes had a recall on mold being a problem in there, then it all blows out in your face and people get sick, feel awful. So you can swab inside your vents and any other areas of concern. If you see anything else that looks iffy, you can swab it, send it in, and they'll tell you types of mold that are growing there. Okay, so, but if you know there's a problem, you're like, what do? I feel bad in my car. Can it be saved? For some people, yes. For some people, no. If you're extremely sensitive, you have mast cell activation, you trigger easily, it may be too far and you have to get rid of that car. But if you can treat it, if you are okay and you want to treat it, what can you do? First thing I tell people to do is HEPA-vac it, just like in the house when you're doing a small particle cleaning, right? Get the HEPA-vac parked outside the car so it's not blowing inside and choking you out, recirculating all those spores and mycotoxins. Vacuum the heck out of all the carpet, all the seats, everything. Okay, you're going to HEPA-vac it. Anything you can't HEPA-vac, or like the dash and hard things, you're going to Swiffer it or microfiber and spray, preferably. Now, I know I'm over my 3 minutes, guys. Check this out. If you've had a consultation with me on Zoom lately, I've probably pulled this up to show you because I'm so excited about it. It's ridiculous what you get excited about when you get old and niche down into something like mold. This is a giant roll of microfiber cloths from Walmart that come off like paper towel. This is really good stuff. You can use it, flip it, fold it, everything. $75 for 14 bucks. Walmart, automotive department. You will never beat that on Amazon. Well, by the time you watch this video, maybe they have the same rolls on there. Walmart, 14 bucks. And use something like your EC3 spray. Use your HypoAir Total Clean, which is copper and iodine based and is super safe too, like EC3. Okay, so let me look at my list. You're going to HEPA-vac it. You're going to microfiber an EC3 or Total Clean or whatever your cleaning product of choice is. You do have the option to fog it as well. So if you have like Haven and a hot fogger, or if you have a cold fog, like EC3's cold fogger, you can fog in there. Optional, you can add the Air Angel, which is tiny PCO device. Hey, if you got a high-tech unit from Karen, if Karen hooked you up with high tech, put that in there. If you need something small or cheaper, the little Air Angel, they sell, it plugs in there, and then you got to buy the adapter that goes in the car. And this pumps out hydroxyl, PCO stands for photocatalytic oxidation, to help break down and denature those spores and mycotoxins. This has 3 settings for a fan, so you can have it just on low if you want, but it's great for small areas. Like usually I have people put it in bedrooms or cars because it does up to 300 square feet or so. That's another option. What else I got here? Change the cabin filter, because you don't know if there's mold in the filter or not, or if there's mold actually coming out or just in it, or it's stopping it, whatever. Get a new cabin filter. And so you can often do that yourself if you look on YouTube and search for like change cabin filter in, like I already said, Highlander, Toyota Highlander, and then put in your year. You'll usually find someone walking you through that. If you can't do that, your mechanic can do it. Take it to your local garage, ask them about your cabin filter. Some people say that you can get upgraded filters all the way to HEPA as well, so it's worth asking. If not, just a new one is fine. And another option is to burn a candle in there every once in a while. This is the new EC3 wax, beeswax candle. No soy. I love it. We use these at home. Oh, I love the smell. I got a couple kids that don't like honey, but I love it. I used to have beehives when we were on the farm. So that's another option. Just don't tip it over and pour hot wax in your carpet. I do know how to fix that though too, if you do it. So let me know if you need help. Or start your car on fire. You don't want to do that either. These ones are just about twice as big as the old soy ones, but you can still get the soy ones. They're smaller and cheaper. I just like the bigger and beeswax ones. So guys, that's a lot of ideas. I know this was a long video. This turned out way longer than, this is over double what I like to do, but I'll put links for this stuff, and like things like this in the Total Clean from hypoair.com. Use coupon code pharmacy, saves you 10% off this stuff. But cars can be a real problem. I feel bad because cars are something people don't really think about at first. They might be like, oh my goodness, I gotta get rid of all this moldy stuff, and they're putting their car to take it to the dump or to give it away or take it to a dumpster, whatever they're doing. And they're literally putting more mold spores in their cars, and it can become a problem for people. So just to run over my list again, I got HEPA vac everything, microfiber and EC3 or Total Clean it. You optionally fog it if you have a fogger. Add the little Air Angel PCO unit if you have one of those, or pick one up. Definitely change the cabin filter, and optionally, I say optionally because I don't want you to do something dumb and start your car on fire and blame it on me, okay? But these work so well to clean the air. They work great in bedrooms. They work great in houses. So imagine how good they work if you just light this up, let it burn for 45 minutes in the car with the doors and windows closed. It just saturates it, okay, and helps break down all that stuff. Doing a damp wipe after any of these things, like the fog or the PCO or the candle, is extra bonus points for you. Spray everything down again and wipe it up with the microfiber cloth to get what was dropped out of the air. All right, guys, that's mold in the car. Super long video, but I hope this helped. Talk to you again.
Do you have questions about mold in your home or body? Book a consultation with Matt, aka the Mold Man, to guide your home and body to the next level of healing.